Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Okay, I think the mic is working. Bam. Hello, good morning, or afternoon, evening, wherever you are. It's been a while since I did a Leetcoding stream. I've been doing system design studying streams for more mid-level positions, but we are done with that now, for now. Okay, just to summarize what's going on, we have been doing the blind 75 Leetcode questions. We've gone through arrays, binaries, well not binaries, I skipped binaries, dynamic programming, and then now on graphs. We did all the way up to number of islands, and then now we're on longest consecutive sequence. Yeah, I have never solved this problem. Okay, Leetcode 128, longest consecutive sequence. Given an unsorted array of integers nums, return the length of the longest consecutive elements sequence. You must write an algorithm that runs in O of n time. Yeah, I read this problem before the stream and I was like, how? Also, how is this a tree problem? I don't understand. Also, how do you do this in freaking O of n time? Sounds like a very tricky problem. Would it help? Actually, how would I even brute force this? Brute. Let's think brute force. Honestly, I would just sort it first, but sorting is already n log n time. And then we just iterate from left to right. And then every time we see a consecutive number, we add 1 to our count. If it's not consecutive, then we start over, I guess. Yeah. But this is n log n time. Right? That can't be the way to do it. I did take a peek at the solutions. I didn't take a look at the actual correct answer though. They say that the correct answer is based heavily off of brute force, but I don't see it. What about not sorting? How could we do this like just not sorting at all? Given an unsorted array of integers, return the length of the longest consecutive elements sequence. Okay, I have a really dumb idea. They say we go from 0 to, what is this? 10 to the 5. 10 to the 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 100,000. For values of 100,000, it's pretty okay to brute force, right? Okay, I have a really stupid idea. Let's call this brute 2. What if, so we have 100,000 possible values, right? 0 to 100,000. What if we just had an array that went so we have 0, 1, 2, all the way up to frickin' 100,000. Like that. And in each in each box of the array, we would just say like true or false. Was this value inside the was this value inside of the nums array? And if it was, true, if not, false. You know? So we would iterate once through this entire array, and then set this array, let's say, what should we call this array? Let's just call this array S for scene is equal to this array. And if a number was seen in this array, we would do S of 100 equals to true. Yeah, so iterate left to right through this array. And for every element, S of index at that element, using, you know, this value as the index, do S of like 100 and set S of 100 to true, and then we would iterate left to right through S, and then for every consecutive true we would plus 1, and then for every not consecutive number we would start over. That's O of n time, right? That's O of n time. Oh, I might be onto something here. I'm not sure though. This is definitely O of n time, no? Wait, I'm so curious. Let me just try this before taking a peek at the solutions. I feel like I'm onto something here. Where do I put this? I'll just put this here. Sure. Okay, so Sharia says maybe using set and some type of conditionals. Using a set and some kind of conditionals. Using a set and some type of conditionals. How would we use a set here? Would the set represent what numbers we've already seen, perhaps? So by the time we get through the entire list, we would be like, okay, the hash contains literally these numbers. Will we do something like for? Oh, I don't know. How do we do this? 4, 3. So when we get to 3, we will see that we've seen 4 before, right? Deepak says hi. Hello, how you doing? Okay, how would you do this with a set? Some sort of set or a map? Let's say you get a 4, right? So our set would contain like 100, 4. What happens when you get to 3? You would see 4 in here, right? And you're like, oh, maybe I can do something with 4, because 4 is greater than 3 by 1. And then after 4, you would be like, oh, do I have a 5 in here? Oh, wait, I might be onto something. So when you get to 2, oh wait, but this only works if stuff is in descending order. If I get to 2 here, okay, so here's what I was thinking and why it doesn't work. So I was thinking maybe we would have some sort of map where the keys are this number and the value is the highest consecutive sequences count starting at that number. So at 4, we would get like, let's say we see 4, right? We would be like, okay, I can make nothing with 4 now, so it's equal to 0. When we get to 1, it's equal to 0. But when we have 3, we're like, oh, I have a 4 in here, so I can plus 1. Is there a 5 in here? Nope, there's not a 5. So that ends my consecutive sequence. So I'll put 2 over here. Actually, these should be like, this eraser sucks. Why is it so tiny? So everything would be 1 actually, because the consecutive sequence is just themselves, and then 3 would be 2. Yeah, and then you see 2 over here, right? And then you would be like, do I have a 3? Yes. Do I have a 4? Yes. So maybe this would be 3. Ooh, this wouldn't be all of n time though. Worst case, this is n squared time, isn't it? Worst case, for every number, you would check every other number. Did you see a Leetcode rewind? There's a Leetcode rewind. No, I haven't. How do you check that? Wait, this is so interesting. There's a Leetcode rewind? How do I check that? Oh, Leetcode rewind. Is it gonna tell me like how much time I spent on each problem? Like what's the one I did the worst on? Okay, this is my Leetcode rewind. It's been 2,000 days since you began Leetcoding. You solved 70 questions this year. 238 ACs. It's so loud, holy. 238 ACs and 386 submissions. What's AC? 68.5% above other Leetcode. Ooh, that sounds good. At least I'm in the top 50%. I don't know what ACs is. Most attempted question is threesome. Leetcode more like Spotify. Oh, burned. So I did, yeah, this makes sense. This really checks out. Dynamic programming, Java. Oh, interesting. Java. Yeah. So again, we've been following this blind 75 list. So arrays, dynamic programming, that's a huge one in the graphs. So this really does make sense. Is it going to tell me what I struggled on? Your longest daily coding challenge streaks 1 day. Yeah, I don't do the daily coding challenge. I'm so awesome. It's Arpits is high. Hello. Contest attended this year, 8. Global ranking is 193,000. Alright. Your best score of rank is 4,000. Ooh, I remember that contest. I think so. This was like the first contest I ever attended, right? That's when I peaked. I think I solved a Q3 for the first time in my life and I never did it again. It was like a stack problem that I've done before. Yeah. My ELO rating is like 1,500 right now or something. Chat spinny eyes. Is it going to show my ELO? No, it's not. Where are you seeing this Leetcode? Oh, it's on the homepage. If you go to leetcode.com, view memories. It's pretty cool. I like how positive this rewind is. It doesn't show all the negatives. Like, I dipped into like a 1600 ELO rating in the Leetcode contest, and then due to like arriving late too many times in the other contests, it dipped down to 1500. Okay. I think I'm kind of stumped on the set method, but I'm gonna try a really stupid method here, the one I've been talking about, where I just do an array of 0 through 100,000 and then mark true or false for each number that I see in here, and then I do one pass through the scene array and then just count how many consecutives there are. That should be O of n time, right? Yeah, because yeah, that should be O of n time, right? N, which is the length of the array, plus 100,000 every time. Okay, let's go. So scene is equal to 0 times 100,000. Let's go. And then for every num in nums, I hope you guys can see this. I think it's really small. For every num in nums, scene num is equal to true. Well, that was my thought process, as I am just a beginner, says Sharia. Oh, nice, we're on the same page here. I'm honestly just really curious to see if this will work. I'm pretty sure this is not the solution. I'm going to look up the solution later, but I just want to see if this will work. Okay, and for every citing in scene, if citing, so we have to maintain a consecutive, how do you spell consecutive? Oh, consecutive count is equal to 0 for now. This is a unnecessarily long variable name. So if we have a citing, then consecutive count plus equals 1. Hurrah. And then else, if it's false, then consecutive count resets to 0. Yeah. We also have to track some sort of max consecutive count, right? These variable names are so long. Max consecutive count is equal to 0. And then we have to keep updating our max consecutive count. Max consecutive count is equal to the max of the current max consecutive count and, you know, the current consecutive count. Yeah. I regret naming this such a long variable. Also, I'm going to delete all these texts. Okay. Else consecutive count is equal to 0. And then in the end, we return the max consecutive count. Does this work? Hey, it worked. Let's go. Alright, place your bets, guys. Is this gonna pass the submissions? Because worst case, nums.length is 10 to the 5, right? 10 to the 5, O of n solutions should be passable, right? Right? Submit. No! Wait. 50-50. Well, it didn't work. Hey, we passed 47 of 84. Okay, they lied to me. 0, there's a negative number here. What's up with that? Oh, I see. It could go up to 10 to the 9. Oh, my solution doesn't work. Hold on. Oh no. Yeah, the range of the numbers can go up to negative 10 to the 9 and 10 to the 9. Dang it. Okay, so we might actually, for brute force, have to go with the sorting method, and then we count. Yeah, and then we do the counting. Oh, frick. Okay. Sort nums. How do you sort in place again? Is it sorted or sort for Python? Python sort in place. I always get confused with these sorting methods. I'm just gonna dot sort. Okay, dot sort. Nums dot sort. It's sorted, past tense. In place sort on the list using dot sort. You sure? It says dot sort here. Okay. Nums dot sort. These variables should be the same. We could reuse a lot of these. Consecutive count. Yeah, it's n log n, but I at least want to get like some sort of brute force solution going before looking at the answer. Max consecutive count. Okay, so for every num in nums, if it's our previous number. If what do we track for our previous number? Previous is equal to none for now. Sure. If previous is equal to none, or the current number is equal to the previous plus 1, then your consecutive count plus equals 1, and your max consecutive count is updated. Else your consecutive count is equal to 0, and you probably have to reset your previous, right? Is equal to none. Do I have to reset anything else? Max consecutive count. Let's run this. Oh man, output is 6. Expected 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why am I counting everything? Why am I just counting everything? Oh. Wait, this still doesn't make sense. If previous is equal to none, or number is equal to... Wait, previous is always equal to none then, because I never update previous. So previous is equal to num, and this is before we update the num in the next iteration. Please. Oh, okay. Why? Okay, we're pretty close though. Why are we just plus oneing? Okay, debugging time. Print. Let's print out what the nums is. And then let's print out what our current number is. Print current num. I love Python printing. I can't believe I used to do this in Java. Print consecutive plus 1, and then else print consecutive reset to 0. Okay. Oh, great logging. Tell me things. So we're expected 8. Oh, okay. current num is 8. So we have 0, 0, we set it back to 0 over here, that's good. So ideally we should have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I crazy? This is 9, right? This is 9. Am I missing something? Return the length of the longest consecutive element sequence. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 minus 0 plus 1 is 9. No? Am I just misunderstanding the problem at this point? Oh, I forgot my music ended. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Hey, it is 9. Oh wait, but I'm missing 1, okay. Oh. Oh my goodness, I mixed up my output and the expected. Okay. Okay, I know what the issue is now. Or what the problem is. So at 0, consecutive is equal to 0. Oh. Max consecutive count should be equal to 1, shouldn't it? Wait, no. If the previous is equal to none, so starting at 0, it should be 1. Ah, I see, because 0 by itself should be counted as its own consecutive number. Okay, what's wrong with you? 0, 1, 1, 2. So my output is 2 expected 3. Because, 0, 1, because there's duplicates. We should remove the duplicates. Hey, do max when consecutive property breaks. Max. Wait, what does that mean? Do max when the consecutive property breaks. Over here, do max. See, using set was a good choice. Yeah, you're right. Set was the way to go here, even for brute forcing. Nums set is equal to set nums. So we'll replace nums here with nums set. Okay, what's wrong with you now? Output was 3 expected 4, so 1, 2, 3. It's not sorted. One, two, three. Because sets are not guaranteed to be sorted. So we should convert it to a set first and then sort it. Dang it. Oh my goodness, okay. Nums processed is equal to set nums list. Why is this so? Nums processed dot sort. Why is this so complicated? So we turn into a list, a set first, and then we turn into a list, and then we sort it. For num and numbers processed. There we go. I'm going to delete all these print statements. Submit. No, why? Still? Well, we got better. Wait, why is brute forcing this problem still so hard? 68 to 84. We're expected, output is 3, expected 2. So we overcounted for some reason. Let's run this. Maybe I should put back my print statements. Expected 2. What is the consecutive things here? Wait, yeah, what is the consecutive stuff here? 9. Huh. -8. How did I get 2? How did I get 3? What about nums processed? I did not print that out. Oh, 8, there's an 8, 9 over here. 8 plus 1, current number is 9, plus 1 should be 2, right? How did I get 3, of all things? Do I ever print out a 3 over here? I don't ever print out a 3. What? How does that work? Max cons count. Should I just print out what my actual consecutive count is? Consecutive count. Okay, what is up with you? Ooh, 8. What the heck? 8. So we reset it to 0. Oh wait, we should reset it to 1 over here, no? So we reset it to 1 when we got to 6, and then we plus 1 when we got to 8. We resetted it to 6. Oh wait, the previous should not be equal to none, right? If we're starting the whole new consecutive count here, the previous is the current number, no? Oh, there we go. Okay. Dang. Brute forcing this. Deceivingly hard. Please. Oh! Why is the sorting method this hard too? Okay. They say there's an O(n) time of doing this. I don't know what that method is, so I will shower yes it's finally. Wow, thanks for making me feel good about myself, man. Finally. Checked it, the brute force method. Okay. I'm going to... Let's look at the solution for how to actually do this the O(n) way. Hopefully I have this set up correctly. Microsoft Edge, where are you? Here you are. My brother has Leetcode Premium, so I stole his account. We're reading the solution now. Oh, okay, approach 1. Brute force for longest consecutive sequence. We can exhaust the entire search space by building as long a sequence as possible from every number. It's Raj just using hashmap, maybe? I have no idea either. Longest streak is equal to 0, okay. For number in nums, the current number is equal to num. Current streak is equal to 1. While the current number plus 1 is in nums, for every single number, you're literally brute forcing its next number. Current num plus equals 1. Current streak plus equals 1. Longest streak is equal to the max of the longest streak plus the current streak. Return the current streak. I see. So for every number, you're just constantly plus 1ing it and seeing if it's in the array. Naruhodo, okay. This is n cubed time. Solve first 2 problems of recent contests that are interesting. Oh, maybe. N cubed time. Outer loop. So here's one loop over here. Wait, where's the n cubed time coming from? There's another loop here. Outer loop runs exactly n times. And because current num increments by 1 during each iteration of while loop, it runs in O of n time. Then on each iteration of the while loop, I see. So for every number, you check, you keep plus 1ing it, right? That's n squared time. And then you do this in operator, which is also n time, because it searches the entire list for it. Okay, I understand. Sorting, yeah, that's the one we did. Sort, for every I in the range, nums I. Yeah, you keep incrementing your streak. Longest streak, yes. This is n log n time, okay. Approach 3, hash set and intelligence sequence building. Oh, someone said hash set. I think it's Raj. Alright. Approach 3, hash set and intelligence sequence building. I'm so confused right now. They said that this is a tree problem, no? Or a graph problem? Maybe it's kind of graph-like in nature, who knows? Let's read. It turns out that our initial brute force solution was on the right track but missing a few optimizations necessary to reach O of n time complexity. The optimized algorithm contains only 2 changes from the brute force approach. The numbers are stored in a hash set or set in Python to allow O1 lookups, and we only attempt to build sequences from numbers that are not already part of a longer sequence. We only attempt to build sequences from numbers that are not already part of a longer sequence, okay? This is accomplished by first ensuring that the number that would immediately precede the current number in a sequence is not present, as that number would necessarily be part of a longer sequence. This is accomplished by first ensuring that the number that would immediately precede. I see. So if you have like 1, 2, 3, and you're looking at 3, and we're like, oh, 2 is in here, so let's now look at 3. I see, okay. So longest streak is 0. Your set of numbers is nums, okay? For every num in num set, if n minus 1 is not in the set, so if your predecessor is not in the set, then you can probably start searching forward for its plus 1s. Current num is equal to num. Current streak is equal to 1. While current num plus 1 is in num set, current num plus equals 1, current streak plus equals 1, and then you update your longest streak, return the longest. This is so simple. I think the really clever part is how they determine, like it's so simple, but it works. This is really clever. I would not have thought of this. Seeing if its predecessor is already in the set and skipping it to prevent, repeat work. potential n squared time, you know? That's really smart. So if you have 1, 2, 3, yeah, so elegant. I agree. Dinkaron. I have no idea what. Dinkarananon. Yeah, this is really, it's so short too. Wow. Yeah, so this statement alone prevents you from doing like n squared time work, because you're guaranteed to not even check a number if it's like part of a sequence already. So if you have like 1, 2, 3, you would not check 3 or 2. You would start at 1. Yep, seeing this one, V's versus your thought process, huge difference. Yeah, my code. This is my code. Holy crap. Let's do this again, shall we? Like covering up the solutions too. So apparently first we put everything. Okay, let's talk this out, the solution. So first we put everything to a set, right? And then for every number in nums, I guess the idea is to check, okay, is my +1 next? Okay, it's next. Does my +1 exist? Does its +1 exist? And then you skip numbers where it is a predecessor of -1, so you don't do duplicate work. Yeah, okay. At every index, they're essentially asking whether it is the start of a sequence or part of a sequence. Yeah. Yes, that's what they are doing. Okay, so num set is equal to set with the nums as input, so convert the entire list into a set for every num in nums. Okay, so if num -1 is in num set, meaning its -1 predecessor exists, then you skip this, right? Continue. Else, while num +1 is in num set, you start counting the consecutive sequence. So consecutive sequence count is equal to 1, which just includes this current number, num, while n+1 is in num set, consecutive sequence count plus equals 1. We also have to track a max consecutive sequence count to track our best solution. So we do max consecutive sequence count is equal to, let's do 0 for now, be 1. Camel case, max consecutive sequence count is equal to the max of the current max consecutive sequence count and the current consecutive sequence count. Why did I make my variable name so long again? It's fine, it works though. Yeah, and then in the end you return. I have to make these. I should take this out, right? I need to be able to access it outside of the for loop. Max consecutive sequence count, else you return max consecutive sequence count. Num's length could be 0 apparently, so maybe we should set this as 0 at first. Okay, let's read through this to make sure it works logically. If its predecessors in num set, then you continue, don't do the work. Consecutive count, else you start counting consecutive sequences. If num+1 is in num set, consecutive sequence count plus equals 1, and then you update your max consecutive sequence count. I made a mistake, so I need to update the current num. Is it a bad idea to override the current num over here? It should be fine, right? It will reset every single for loop, I think. Hey, let's go. Apparently it doesn't matter. Okay. Submit. Uh-oh. Why is it? No! 72 of 84. Expected 1, output is 0. Wait, why? Nums minus 1. Should our max consecutive sequence count equals 1? But nums.length could equal to 0, no? Wait, how do they do it? It looks so simple when they do it. If length of nums is equal to 0, then return 0. Okay. Hold on, there must be something. Their code was so pretty, they didn't need to do this. I'm gonna take a peek at the solution again. Time limit exceeded. Oh my frickin'. Okay, longest streak is equal to 0. Num set is equal to the set of all numbers. For every num in num set. Oh, they reduce the work too by just checking every number in num set, so they don't do duplicate work too. And then if num minus 1 is not in num set, current streak is equal to 1. So they don't even care about the... Oh. They set the longest streak as default 0. And then when they see any number, set to 1. Oh, you guys can't see my screen, but I'm looking at this again. Okay. So num and num. So they further reduce the work by iterating every single num in num set. Yeah, they don't need this. Max consecutive sequence count is equal to 0. So if there's nothing in the array, then we literally don't do any work and it still is 0. If num minus 1 is not in num set, then max consecutive sequence count or like then it's just 1, right? We didn't use the num set in the for loop. Yeah, you're right. Num set should be here. And then if it does have a predecessor, then its consecutive sequence count is equal to 1. Wait, how did they do this so elegantly? Current streak, longest streak. Consecutive sequence count is equal to 1. I guess max consecutive count is equal to the max of the current max and 1. And then else you start counting. Holy... Wait, what? Expected 1. surely we should... Nums is just 0. For every num in nums set, we should get to here, right? If nums minus 1 is in num set. Oh no, we never get to here. Maybe this should go outside here then. Because we start our sequence count as 1, but we have to update it somehow. Yeah, okay. And then down here, consecutive sequence count is equal to 1. If its predecessor is a num set, why is this so confusing for me? Hold on. Current streak is equal to 1. Continue. Okay. And if it does have a consecutive, if its predecessor does not exist, that means we start counting from it. If it's a single number, we start our count at 1, we skip this, and then our max consecutive sequence count will be taken care of over here. Okay, let's try this. Finally! Oh. Alright. Yes, says Sharya. Oh. I kind of like this problem. This problem is, the solution is very elegant. And once you see it, it's like, oh, that's actually pretty smart. I feel like for my understanding, I want to do this again really quickly. This is how you internalize stuff. Okay. Longest consecutive sequence. Given an unsorted array of integers nums, return the length of the longest consecutive element otherwise. Okay, so you put everything in the set. For every number in the set, you would be like, okay, does my predecessor exist? Like the number that comes right before me. If it does, that means I am part of another ascending sequence, so I skip me. Else, you start counting. If my predecessor plus 1, as long as it exists, I add plus 1 to my streak, and then at the end, I update my max streak, having started my streak count at 1. Yeah, okay. So num set is equal to set nums for every single num in num set if my predecessor is in there. After this question, can you answer one of my question? Oh, what question? You want me to do another problem? Maybe. No promises though, maybe. If num minus 1 is in num set, then you skip this dude, because it's useless work. He's in another subsequence. Else, you start your count equal to 1, representing the current num, while num plus 1 is in num's set, then count plus equals 1, and then you have to track your max count. Max count meaning, by count I mean the max consecutive sequence length but it's too long to write. And then your max count is now equal to the max of your current max count versus your current count. And then num is equal to num plus 1. And then at the end, you do max count actually I can just do this. I need to do this outside the while loop to take care of the case where none of its plus ones exist in the set. So that's that. And then we return max count. I feel like I blundered somehow. Is this right? In num set. Why did I say blunder? That's a chess move. Or a chess term. Oh no, he blundered. He forgot the S in num set. He blundered. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, I feel like I've internalized it. Doing it twice helps. Hey Sharia, what's your question? I don't think I have time to do it fully, but I can maybe talk it out. Yeah. Just tell me what number it is. Or is it like a text question? So we just did this one, longest consecutive sequence. This was a good question. Next up is Alien Dictionary. I think I'll do it next time too. It's on Leetcode Premium too. Where did my notebook go? I want to note down this question. Okay. Sharia says, so here's my question. I am a newbie in DSA. I just know all the Python basic stuff. How do I start DSA and have even started learning API? Oh, those are good questions. So I learned DSA in college, but I forgot everything. So when I started doing job searching, I read this book called Cracking the Coding Interview. It kind of depends on your case, but this book really helped me a lot. I will say it is in Java though, which was what I started Leetcoding in. I don't have some Leetcode question. Oh yeah, I see that it's not a Leetcode question. So I read this book. I think this book is good in that it clumps Leetcode-like questions into like similar groups together. Like there's a arrays group, there's a strings group, trees, graphs group, dynamic programming, kind of like this actually. But unlike this list, before every group of questions, it basically has a like 2 to 3 pager on techniques to use on these type of questions, and then you can read the summary of how arrays work and stuff, and then you try the questions in a group, and then you can start to see like the patterns that appear in these type of questions. I think it's helpful to do Leetcode questions in clumps of similar concepts, because if you do all the array questions all in one go, for example, you're going to start to see patterns that exist in a lot of array questions, and you'll be like, oh, okay, cool. And then when you see an array question in the future, you're like, oh, I recognize that pattern. I think it's an array question. Similar for dynamic programming questions. Yeah, but yeah, just heads up, this book is in Python. I mean, not Python, Java. Another resource, if you're not comfortable in Java, is Leetcode. Not Leetcode. Leetcode 150. Leetcode 150. Yeah, you know what? If you're a Python person, I think I recommend Leetcode 150. So where's Leetcode? Roadmap. Oh, here. So he also groups the questions into similar groups for you to do in one go and process the patterns. He also makes videos, like if you're not good at reading, maybe you're a video person, he makes videos on... Oh wait, this is behind a paywall now? Never mind then. Yeah, this book is good. I forgot Leetcode is behind a paywall. But he has free videos on YouTube, so... And have you been started learning API? That's good. Learning API is useful. I recently had an interview for a mid-level position, not entry-level position, and they asked me to write APIs live with Flask. I don't know if you use Flask or not, or Fast API. Yeah. Where did all my notebooks go? I'm trying to find a notebook. Oh, I found my notebook. It's just that all the post-its I fell out, so I couldn't recognize the notebook. To some number of islands. I have learned a bit of Fast API. Oh, Fast API is so nice. I was actually cramming for the interview. So I learned Fast API the day before the interview. Fast API is so nice. It comes with this Swagger thing, right? With the UI and stuff. The Swagger. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the Swagger thing. And it allows you to test out the APIs really easily. It even provides like a whole UI for you to just input stuff and run the APIs. I think that's really useful. Flask is so boring, you have to curl stuff yourself. But yeah, they tested me with Flask. I didn't know how to curl anything, so I had to use AI on the spot to tell me what the curl commands are. Yeah, the doc stuff is pretty good. Yeah, I agree. Where did my pencil go? It's here. Y'all can't see this, but I'm writing in a notebook right now. Okay, what is this question called? I'm trying something new where after I do every single Leetcode question, I would write down a really short snippet of how to do it, like a cheat sheet in a notebook. Longest consecutive sequence. So you are given a unsorted array, okay. Unsorted array, and then your task is to return length of longest consecutive sequence. And the catch is you have to do an O of n time in O of n time. Okay, so my summary for how to do this. Convert to a set. Convert to a set, and for n in set, if I'm the beginning, if I'm the beginning of a ascending consecutive sequence, then start counting. And then to do that, you see n minus 1 exist. Cool, yeah, that's my summary of this. Okay, got it. I think I'm gonna hop off for today. Next time I'm gonna do... This was a short stream. Next time I'm gonna do Alien Dictionary, which is a Leetcode premium problem. I've never done this before. Next problem? No, I'm going to sleep. It's 12:30 a.m. my time at night and I have work tomorrow. Yeah, this was a cool problem. Longest consecutive sequence. I'm gonna hop off. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks Sharia. Thanks It's Arpit. Yeah, I don't stream very long these days. This stream was only 1 hour long. So I appreciate you all somehow finding me when I'm streaming and then watching. Yeah, thank you. Sharia says, okay, damn, where do you live? 12:50 a.m. It's 12:50 a.m. for you. It's 12:30 a.m. for me. I live in the west side of USA. Yeah. Alright, I'm hopping off. Bye. Thanks, Sharia. Thanks, It's Arpit. See ya. Bye, Sharia.